Hey guys, this is ImpurFektFaith, and today we're going to look at Cinema 4D and how to kind of look into how to make objects break apart and even how to make them explode, because that is always fun, making things explode. There's actually a lot of practical applications for this. You can use it basically on any object. You can use it on text. You could use it to make an intro with. There's just a lot of things that you can do with it. Just to kind of take a look at what we're going to be doing today, I made a short clip, and check it out. Okay, so basically you can see that we have got a lot of balls exploding here. So we're going to take a look at the first two spheres, and when they come in contact, they're going to break apart, revealing dun, 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 a smaller blue sphere underneath. So I mean, that's kind of cool. You can hide objects within objects, make some explode, make some break apart, and not others. So that's kind of cool too, and we'll go over how to do that. And then we have the big guy coming down. Huge sphere falling down. It hits and it breaks apart, but the blue sphere does not, showing that it is much, much weaker and smaller than the blue sphere. So that's kind of what we're going to take a look at today, and kind of how to do that. I'm going to give you some links to some good sites, and I'm going to give you a link to a free plugin that you can use for Cinema 4D. So let's get started, I guess. We're going to start up Cinema 4D here and just start with a blank file, a blank scene. I'm actually using Cinema 4D 11.5. There is, I believe, Cinema 4D version 12 is out. But I wouldn't know about that because I don't have it. Okay, so here we are in a blank scene. We can rotate this 360 degrees all over the place, and see that there's nothing on it. So let's get something in it. So we're going to click here on the objects, and I'm just going to use spheres today. You can use text or whatever you want after you learn how to do this, but we're just going to work in spheres today. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a sphere in there. I am going to go ahead and drop a floor in. I am going to raise the sphere up so it's kind of sitting on top of the floor. I'm going to kind of move it around here so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm also going to put a light in so that we can see what we're doing and we're not operating in the dark. When I put the light in, I just put a regular light in, an Omni light. I'm going to go down here, and under shadows, I'm going to click Shadow Map Soft. It kind of gives it a, if we take a quick render look here, it's going to give it a more realistic view. You're going to see the soft shadow form behind the sphere with the light. So just kind of looks nice. I'm going to turn that, and I'm going to lower this a little bit, move it down so we can see better what we're doing. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to use a plugin, and I will provide a link for it down here, called Thrausi. And what that's going to do is that is going to take this object, whatever object I'm using, and it's going to break it up into as many parts as I put in here. So I'm going to type 50 in here. I'm going to click on the sphere to make sure it's selected. It's going to randomize this into a bunch of different slices through the object, and then this is a great plugin. I mean, I've used Destroy, which is another plugin before. It kind of crashes the program sometimes, but I've never crashed with this plugin. So this is a great plugin. I'll put a link where you can download it for free in the More Info tab. So now all we do is hit Break Now, and you're going to watch this thing work. It's going to start breaking everything apart, and boom, it is done. It has broken this up into 50 different slices. And if we go down here into the timeline and press play, we're going to see that, oop, that's just going to fall apart. Let's go back to the beginning, and actually let's right click on the floor, go into MoGraph tags, and click on rigid body. Okay, what that's going to do is it's going to allow these objects to hit the floor instead of just falling down into nothingness. So now when we hit play, boom, it's going to fall on that floor and just kind of roll over that way. Okay? Now, we're talking about breaking objects. So, real quick, let me show you how to explode an object. What we want to do is create another sphere and kind of lift this up. I'm going to get a better view here. Kind of lift the sphere up. We can actually decrease the size of the sphere a little bit, and then twirl that over, and let's put that sphere down here at the bottom and the bottom back. Okay, now what we want to do is we also want to put a MoGraph tag on that. We want to make that also a rigid body. Okay, and what happens when you have two MoGraph tags, and this is all, and this first sphere is going to break apart anyways, but when they come in contact with one another, they tend to cause an explosion, which is super. So if we press play now, we're going to see that that explodes quite a bit. Okay, instead of just falling down, that is actually going to explode, and all the pieces are going to fall on the ground and look pretty cool doing it. So, but then you say, well, you can see this other sphere though. Well, let's solve that problem. So, when we explode it, we want it to explode, but we don't want to see this secondary sphere here kind of sticking out the back of this other sphere like a hunchback. So, what we're going to do is we're going to click on this second sphere. We're going to go over here to the objects area. We're going to click on these two small circles twice until they turn red. And what that's going to do, now you can see, you cannot see the second sphere. You only have one shadow here, you only have one ball here, one sphere. And what that's going to do is it's still going to allow these two spheres to come in contact with one another, causing the explosion, but you're not going to see that second sphere. So let's just take a look at that real quick. Boom. So an explosion happened, okay? But we don't know why. It's a hidden sphere, but nobody knows it. Okay, so let's get rid of this sphere and show you just basically how to maybe break a couple things apart. So I got rid of that sphere. We're going to turn this. Now, if you watch now, since that second sphere is gone, it's just going to break and fall apart again, which is not that exciting. But if another object were to fall down and hit it and explode it, that would be awesome. So we're going to edit, copy, edit, paste. I'm going to lift this second sphere up. Now if we press play, we just see that both these spheres just kind of start falling apart. We don't really want that. We want an impact to cause that explosion. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go into rigid body, that MoGraph tag, and we are going to go to the very beginning of the timeline, and we are going to click enabled. We don't want it to be enabled right at the beginning. And we're going to do the same thing for the second sphere. We don't want it to break apart from the very beginning. So if we press play, nothing's going to happen. The timeline's moving, but nothing's happening. So now we want to keyframe this. We want to take this, and we want to set a keyframe, because we want it to fall down and then break on top of the other one. So we want to set a keyframe, move this forward about 30 frames or 1 second. We want to drop this down, and let's get a better view. It'll move in a little bit. We want to drop this down until it just touches this second sphere, and then we want to set another keyframe. So if we go back and we look at what's happening, basically these two spheres falling down and hitting each other, but nothing's happening. That's because we still have to keyframe or enable the dynamics of the rigid body. So at 30 seconds, what we'll do is we'll grab this first sphere. We will go into rigid body. We will control click on the circle next to enabled. We will move forward 1 frame. We will click check on the enabled box, hit control, click on it again, and now you're going to see that that top one is going to shatter as soon as it hits the bottom. Boom. So as soon as it falls, boom, it's going to break. And the same thing with the second one. If we want the second one to break as well, second sphere, the bottom sphere, we're going to go in, control click on enable, move forward 1 frame, enable it, and control click on that red dot again, and then what we have is 2 spheres coming together and breaking apart. It's sad but beautiful. So that is basically how you break things apart and explode objects in Cinema 4D. Really easy, but it can be a powerful and cool effect for you guys. Again, I'm going to put the link for the free download for the Thrausi plugin to break things apart. And there's more you can do with it. I'm just basically talking about breaking objects and exploding them today. And again, you can do this. You can break this into 100 pieces, 200 pieces, as many as you want, really. But just understand that if the more pieces you break it in, the higher chance you have of the program failing or crashing. Because this plugin has not been perfected yet, but I gotta say, it's a great plugin. So that is it for today, guys. If you guys have any comments or questions, just leave them in the comment section, and God bless you guys.